Well, it's a great day for Galaxy fans, but also a tough decision lies ahead. Right now, you have the Galaxy S20 Plus and the Galaxy S10 Plus, and if you have this one, you're probably wondering, is it worth the upgrade? First, let's dig into these displays, because you're not going to see too much of a difference right when you look at them. They're still super bright, punchy, QHD AMOLED displays with great resolutions, so you're not going to really be able to tell much of a difference other than the camera at the top, which is moved to the center on the S20 Plus and in the corner on the S10 Plus. The first place you're going to see the difference is when you're scrolling through the screen. That is where you get the 120 Hz refresh rate on the S20 Plus that you don't have on the S10 Plus. It's going to make things super silky smooth and navigations and transitions even more fluid than before. The screen has grown just a little bit on the S20 Plus by a few tenths of an inch, but generally they feel pretty much the same in hand. When you turn them around though, you're going to see a difference with that camera bump. Not only do you have the additional true depth camera adding a fourth lens to the equation on the S20, but you also have bigger sensors. You still have 12 megapixel main sensors on both of these and 12 megapixel ultra wides to complement them, but where you're going to see the biggest change is that telephoto lens, which jumps all the way up from 16 on the S10 Plus to 64 on the S20 Plus. With that jump up, you're going to get 3 times optical zoom, which is 3 times more than the S10 had, and 30 times digital zoom. So aside from that, you're seeing a lot of the same stuff with the cameras here, which isn't a bad thing because it was still one of the top 3 cameras that we tested last year. There's also some key changes internally though, and one of those is the inclusion of 5G. The Galaxy S20 Plus includes millimeter wave and sub-6 bands, so you can hit those high frequencies and lower bands that are more prevalent throughout the country, whereas the S10 Plus didn't have any 5G. With that, you also have a moderate bump with the battery from 4100 milliamp hours to 4500 milliamp hours to hopefully support that 5G extra power consumption. Of course, you'll have the latest Snapdragon 865 processor in the S20 Plus as opposed to the Snapdragon 855 in the S10 Plus, and a moderate bump in RAM from 8 gigabytes on the S10 Plus to 12 on the S20. Exclusive to the S20 Plus is something called Space Zoom, which makes sure that your shots when you're super zoomed in are super steady and very clear. Space Zoom uses 2 forms of stabilization, optical and Samsung's AI software stabilization. Another S20 exclusive is 8K video capture, from which you can actually pull out 33 megapixel stills so that you don't ever miss a moment when you're taking a video. And a new feature called Single Take, which works in a very similar way as you might find Live Photo on iPhone. Essentially, it's going to record 8 to 10 seconds of content, and from which, depending on what it sees with its AI recognition, it will pull out specific types of content, whether that be videos, GIFs, wide-angle shots, or even portrait mode photos. You don't have a lot of customization in terms of what it pulls out, but it can be a nice way to capture some different kinds of content without you having to think too much about it. None of these camera features are coming to the S10 Plus as far as we know yet, but there are some new Samsung experiences in the UI that will be shared across devices. These are mostly small additions, like the dialer now including a shortcut to Duo Video Chat and the ability to record video chats in 1080p high definition. The last big consideration you're going to have here is, of course, price. Now, if you already have a Galaxy S10, obviously you don't have to pay anything more to get it. If you don't already have a Galaxy S10, right now they're discounted to $750, which is a pretty big difference from the $1,200 price on the Galaxy S20 Plus. So it's really up to you if you find it that much better.